them on the board. And
all right. Well, it is time, Patrick. Why don't we head down to the match and see who is going to advance going forward here? Is it going to be Shaun McLaren with his Jund list, or is it going to be Tian with Elves continuing his run of back-to-back wins against the black-green decks? And he's got one more to face here if he wants to make it to the next round of the Modern Super League. Let's see. What do you make of these hands, Patrick? I see that no lightning bolts in hand for Shaun McLaren on the top there.
Yeah. I don't know who's on the play, but this opener looks like a mulligan to me. Like, he has one effective play, which is Tarmogoyf, but it will be really small, like probably 1-2, because he doesn't have any spells to like pump it up. And Olivia will like only hit the board really, really late. And I think I would have kept Tian's first hand, but then again, I don't know if he's on the play or not. And
okay, he is on the play, and he decided to mulligan it, and it looks like McLaren has kept that hand on top there. So he's going to put a lot of faith in the top of his deck here, Patrick, to find him some cheap removal spells to try to keep Tian from going off. It looks like, not a great draw here for Lee, though. He just has the Nettle Sentinel, and I don't think he has another play here.
No, he can't really do anything. He just has to pass the turn back, I guess. And Kolagan's command in this spot is actually quite okay, but only because obviously Lee is not doing anything, because otherwise it might probably just be too slow. Yeah, and in fact, the turn does get passed over to Shaun McLaren, and he gets to breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. That turn could have gone so much worse for him, and now he gets to try to figure out how he wants to craft the game going forward. He can play a tap land here. He can play a Tarmogoyf here. He's got quite a few options. Yeah, I think he's for sure dropping the Tarmogoyf, because the next turn he can already bash in for free, because he's just gonna play the Kolagan's command that he has in hand.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he does. He plays the Tarmogoyf out. Now, it's not going to be able to block the Nettle Sentinel, but I think that Shaun McLaren's fine with that. Now, there's a draw for Tian. He does find at least something he can cast with an Elvish Mystic. And this is going to get him closer to emptying out his hand here and getting those collected companies out of his hand. How important is collected company in a matchup like this, Patrick?
Collected company is very important if you get to cast it early. Like right now, Lee's probably already so far behind that it'll be very hard to come back. But if there's a way to get back into this game, it is probably with Collected Company, because it can create board hits that get it out of hand so quickly. It lets you reload, and also if you like pick up some ram spells, you obviously enable the next Collected Company. Like in this hand, like he has all the tools, but what he needs is mana, and that's just what he doesn't have right now.
Yeah, and he just had another piece of mana taken away. The Elvish Mystic is going to fall to the Kolagan's command, and as you predicted, the Tarmogoyf becomes a 3/4. Now it looks like Shaun is going to leave it back on defense here. He doesn't want to take any extra damage from the Nettle Sentinel. And there is a land off the top, a Horizon Canopy now for Tian, means that he's going to get to play Elvish Visionary and draw a card and see if he can't find another mana source coming down the pipe here. And a little awkward, he finds his Singleton Thalia Guardian of Thraben. He just has one of those in his list. Primarily to go search up with Court of Calling, I'm assuming. Oh, wow. So is it Olivia Voldar on a clock here, Patrick?
Yeah, now she looks quite impressive. Like, usually she's way too slow, but obviously this game slowed down by a lot because Tian didn't have mana. And that way, obviously, Olivia obviously finishes out games like this so fast, especially against green decks.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Shaun did have the option of playing Liliana with the Veil as well as Thoughtseize in the turn, but he's decided that he just wants to get Olivia Voldar down and active as soon as possible because he knows he can just mow down the board of Tian. And Lee, he's not going to have, he's going to only have a couple of turns left to try to turn this thing around. Now, he found a Nykthos.
Yeah,
does that do anything for him? He's going to play an Elvish Archdruid here.
Yeah, well, basically what will happen now is Shaun is going to kill the Archdruid, and then Lee needs to draw another land and maybe get really, really lucky with the collector companies. But I can't really see any line that gets him out of this hole. Like,
Speaking
it'll
of
be very tough.
Yeah, here goes Thoughtseize. which can take away one of the collected companies if Shaun wants. He also could just, I'm sure he's just going to take a collected company here, and that leaves Lee Tian with just one copy of that card left, and the Thalia does not look good facing down Olivia Voldaren either. So a really tough spot here for Lee. He kept a sketchy hand with just the one land, and this deck doesn't need that much land to go, but he didn't quite have the mana producing pieces that he needed, and now it feels like Shaun's going to be able to turn the corner on this game very quickly.
Well, if Lee finds two lords within the collected company and has a good top deck, maybe that way he can make something happen, but it'll be tough.
So he's going to need to find a land or a heritage druid here just to be able to cast collected company. Oh, there's a heritage druid. Okay.
Yeah, this might do something.
Yeah, this could do something. You're saying he basically needs to find two lords to be with the collected company to be able to grow his team big enough to shrug off Olivia Voldaren. Is that the idea here?
Yeah, I think so. Shaun will most likely have 5 mana available next turn, so it can't really kill free freeze. And maybe that way he can do something. I think that makes a lot of sense because he gets to untap the Nettle Sentinel. Maybe he has to put Elfish Visionaries into play, and it's definitely right to play this on his turn.
Okay. Well, let's see what he hits. I saw that there was a Dwynen's Elite in there, and I think another Elvish Archdruid as well. Yeah, he does have that. Those are two options we can see just sort of accidentally on our hand cam, but he may have other options as well. Looks like Lee is trying to figure out how he wants to proceed here. He can't be comfortable, though, right? Facing down Olivia Voldaren when you're behind here, it's pretty brutal.
Oh, Spellskite is a good one.
Okay. So he finds an Archdruid, he finds a Spellskite.
He doesn't get to create more mana now, but...
oh, no, there's a Terminate off the top for Shaun McLaren.
Yeah, but it's still not enough. He can't kill anything this turn.
He can only kill Spellskite, yeah.
He can kill something with Terminate and have him sacrifice a creature, but he cannot choose to kill the Archdruid. Right.
Okay, so Shaun can now set up a 2-turn clock in the air pretty easily, as Lee's going to fall down to 11 life here. After using the Spellskite, and he does. And now Olivia Voldaren's a 5/5 flyer, but he can add a +1/+1 counter to that either this turn or next turn, however he sees fit, and he can kill Lee in the air in just 2 swings. So really a lot of pressure on Lee Tian now to find something to abuse the situation that he's got himself in.
Yeah, the interesting question right now is whether to just pump the Olivia and attack, so that way you basically force Tian to jump, and that way you get to kill a better creature, because either the Nettle Sentinel or the Archdruid has to block, or you play Liliana, but then he gets to sacrifice the Elfish Visionary, which is obviously worse than Sentinel or Archdruid.
Yeah, and this attack makes a lot of sense because he doesn't actually have to pump Olivia to make the chump block happen. He just has to threaten it. And there he goes. Now he gets to play Liliana as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice little play there from Shaun. And he's going to make him sacrifice that Elvish Visionary. Down it goes, and play his land for the turn. And it doesn't feel like there's any outs left for Lee Tian here. Even a card like Azuri, he doesn't have enough mana to make that lethal. Yeah, and that's going to do it. Shaun McLaren, both of their opening hands, Patrick, weren't too exciting, right? They were pretty rough openers, but it looks like Shaun capitalized on the misstep of Lee Tian just enough to get him. Oh, cool! Well, check this out. We get to watch the player sideboard. This is awesome.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think Lee Tian took a mulligan because he knew that that Shaun was playing Jund and that he might have Lightning Bolt. Otherwise, I'm 100% sure that he would have kept that hand. He had a green source, he had Elfish Visionary, and like pretty much everything you could ask for. It was just missing some mana. Like if the Elfish Mystic dies, like if it lives, it's not a problem. But due to Lightning Bolt being a part of Shaun's deck, he had to take a mulligan.
Sure. Yeah, one of the cards to keep an eye out for here as well that comes in out of the sideboard for Lee Tian is Chameleon Colossus with protection from black, Patrick. How big of a problem is that for Shaun McLaren?
Well, he definitely put a lot of pressure with it onto Reed and Billy Idle, so I think it's also good in this matchup. Like, I don't see a reason for it not being very good. Like, I think Shaun does not have removal that kills it because there's nothing that kills it. So yeah, it's probably very, very threatening.
Yeah, he needs 2 lightning bolts or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about like some place with Kolaghan's Command, but then I realized that that card is also black, and yeah. I mean,
I did that too.
Yeah.
All right, and as we can see, the players look like they're just about ready to head back down. So we'll go down to game 2 and see who is going to advance to the next round here and try to keep their dream alive of winning the very first Modern Super League. And take a look at the openers here, Patrick. What are you seeing?
Well, a mulligan for Lee Tian and a keep for Shaun.
Okay.
Like, Shaun already... I think both players already took mulligans, right? So maybe they all... No, they didn't. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there's just one card we can't see.
Yeah, there was one card missing, so I was like, oh, did they take more mulligans already?
There it is. It was a Kolaghan's Command. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a keep for Shaun and Tian to take a mulligan.
He did take 1 mulligan. We can only see 4 of his cards, but he actually has 5 in his hand still. All right, so it looks like a pretty slow start here for Lee.
Yeah, like I don't know if that last card, like the one that we can't see, is another elf, but if it is not, he's definitely in trouble. It's a forest, all right.
It's a forest. All right, he's going to kick things off with a Spellskite, which is a nice defensive spell for his deck. It can protect his other creatures from removal and do a pretty good job. Unfortunately for him, there is a Kolaghan's Command in Shaun's hand, and also Lee doesn't have any creatures to protect, and a Spellskite on its own is not going to get the job done. So Shaun is just going to cast Scavenging Ooze because, hey, he's not under any pressure at all. He's going to be able to start building out his board here and just pass the turn back.
Well, that is going to change next turn, though. Like, Shaun really does need Liliana, because otherwise Chameleon Colossus might actually just end the game. Like, right now, if you look at the hand, he does not have discard for it, and he does not have a Liliana. So this might actually pull him out of this hole.
Wow. We mentioned it before as a really potentially great sideboard card for Lee, and that could be huge for him here.
Like, I haven't done the math. Like, I don't know if he's like going to race fast enough, but I don't see a reason for him not to. Like, I mean, right now Shaun only has the Scavenging Ooze and the Ravine, and they can't outrace the Chameleon Colossus.
No, it's effectively an 8/8.
Yeah. I think he's thinking about not playing the Elite because he'll get another token out of it if he waits 2 turns. Like, Chameleon Colossus, due to being Changeling, is obviously an elf too.
Yes. Huh, that's interesting because it does open him up a little bit here, right? Yeah, he didn't play it. So, one of the cards that Lee is going to be thinking about a lot is the one that you just mentioned, which is Liliana of the Veil. And let's just say that his Spellskite were to die here, which I think is a reasonable assumption. That would leave him with no creatures if he casts Chameleon Colossus next turn, and if his opponent has a Liliana of the Veil, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, but I think he still has to go for it. Like, his hand is so weak, he just, like, I mean, there's one card that really wrecks him, which is Liliana, and nothing else. So I would always just go for it. Like, if they have it, fine, take a loss, but, like, if they have it, you lose anyway. So
yeah, and the thing is, I think you'll know, right? Like, there's a decent chance that if Shaun has Liliana of the Veil, he would play it here and just make Lee sacrifice the Spellskite anyway.